Alrighty. Cool. We'll get started in about 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll start at 8:05. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Where can you find the LILO resume template? Here, 1 second. Can find it right here. No problem. Cool. Hey, how you doing? We're gonna get started at 8:05. Let some more people join. How's everyone's weekend? Honestly, yeah, I'll give it about 1 more minute and then we can get started. Today is not going to be too long. Hey, Chisholm, how you doing? All right, cool. Honestly, yep, we can get started now. So welcome everybody to week 5. This week we'll cover heaps, and let's get right into it. So let's see. Yep, here we go. Cool. So just about the Heaps unit tomorrow. We will be releasing it, so tomorrow night, look out for that. Heaps is a pretty quick unit, just in general. So looking at like the previous units we've done, like hash tables, trees, and even linked lists, the Heaps unit will roughly be, you know, a bit quicker to complete just because heaps are a derivative of trees. And you guys have like some good experience working with trees from the last project. In terms of how the last project went, though, I'd like to see what you guys thought in the chat about it. So I'm going to put a poll out there. Okay, so I'm gonna put a poll in the chat, but I'd like to hear how you guys thought the file system project was in general. Yeah, but like I was saying, this will be a quicker unit. This unit will cover what heaps are and specifically what priority queues are as well and how heaps use them. And then we're going to be implementing a real world priority system using a heap. So yeah, that's what we have for this week. As far as events though, in the Discord, we also plan to have a roast your resume session this upcoming Wednesday. And on Friday, we'll be having a live project walkthrough again. During this live project walkthrough, we'll walk through the file system project and the actual implementation to the project itself. And the Heaps project will be due on, or due in quotations, because I sent out an announcement last week talking about how due dates are going to change going forward. Pretty much what I had said was there will only be one due date at the end of the program, but to stay on track and make sure you're like, up to date with everything that's going on, I would suggest getting the project done by July 28th, just so you're staying on track with the program. But if you don't get it in by July 28th, nothing will be held against you. That's just a suggested timeline to actually submit it by. So past that, yeah, with Roast Your Resume, Aaron will be hosting this again, and you guys can RSVP by scanning the QR code below or going on the Discord and looking at the event there. Okay. And so Chisholm, you said, I'm really enjoying the modules, challenging, but can't trade knowledge I'm getting from them for anything. Never really understood recursion and how they work under the hood. Well, that's great. That's great. The feedback. Recursion can definitely be super challenging, so I'm glad to hear that it is making a difference. And then past that, do you know how confidential the roast your resume will be? So with the roast your resume, we will remove all of your personally identifiable information if you're chosen for the event itself. And yeah, so your name, your phone number, if you have your address on there, we'll remove that stuff. Yeah, so not have to worry about that portion. Yeah, only if you're chosen, correct. Yep. And lastly, believe on Friday, we'll be doing the file system project walkthrough with Paraking. And past that, open the floor for questions. You guys can go ahead and leave any questions you guys have in the chat. But I will also just be doing a raffle live to select who will actually, be eligible for the Roast Your Resume on Wednesday. So I'm gonna share that screen. And feel free to ask any questions in the chat in the meantime. Alrighty, cool. So I'll start by clicking spin the wheel. Let's see who we'll get first. I'll be choosing 7 people for the review. So we have Paul. Paul, you're the first winner. I'll reach out to everyone after this meeting sometime later tonight. And just to make sure that I have everyone's resume on file. I believe we have everyone's resume on file, but yeah, past that, we would like to see you at the event itself on Wednesday. Cool. Now for our second winner. Alrighty. Now number 3. Cool. You said, dang, I tuned in too late. No, you're all good. I just went over the general outline of the upcoming week. Okay, we got our 4th winner. And now I'm raffling off the winners for Roast Your Resume, because we're having a Roast Your Resume. I'm good. Yeah, we're having a Roast Your Resume event on Wednesday. Okay, number 5. I see. Number 6. And the last one will be number 7. Cool. So I'll reach out to everyone who won after this, but besides that, these are the winners for this week's Roast Your Resume. And then additionally, next week, we'll be doing a live mock interview on Wednesday. And yeah, same thing. Next week, we'll be doing a project walkthrough as well. But here are our 7 winners. Yeah. And then also, Huncho Bean, I did put a poll in the chat to ask how the file system project went for everyone. So if you could vote on that, that'd be greatly appreciated. But past that, I'll open the floor for questions again. Anything from anyone? Give it about 2 minutes. Seems like there aren't many questions. If so, we can pretty much wrap up here. Like I said, tomorrow night, we'll be releasing the next project, which will be the Heaps project. And then from there, it'll be due July 28th at 11:59 p.m. And due is in quotations just to make certain you're actually, keeping up with the course. That's the suggested due date, but nothing will be due until the actual end of the program itself on September 6th. Yeah. Yeah, it was supposed to be this Wednesday, but we pushed it to next week. not, we can wrap up here. It's probably the quickest kickoff call that we've done so far. But yeah, I'll return the 15 minutes or so to you guys, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Feel free to reach out in Discord if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns. So I'll see you guys. Just note on learning plan and completed modules aren't showing as completed. Okay, yeah, one thing I wanted to say about that, we are currently working on trying to fix that issue with the progress tracking in general. A ton of students have reached out saying that stuff isn't correctly being tracked. So we are working on it currently, and I'll put out an announcement on Discord once we have it finished. But if you actually completed the programming assignments for the most, basically, don't worry about the deadlines. If you completed the assignments, if there's something glitching saying that you haven't completed a reading or you haven't completed a lecture video or a project itself, something like that, but we clearly have submissions, we will make certain that you are still in consideration for everything. So please bear with us while we address those issues, and then we'll put out an announcements once we have that resolved. But thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. Cool. Alrighty. What is the link to access the modules? I like the bit behind. Yep. The link to access the modules is just going to the actual website, and then from there you click start learning, and it's the first thing on there. And no worries on lagging behind. So long as you complete everything by the end of the program, you'll still earn the certificate itself. Cool. Alrighty. I think we can wrap up here, but I'll see you all. Thanks.